Yesterday, the Obama administration began trashing Mitt Romney's record at Bain Capital, private equity firm. Let's watch.
They made as much money off it as they could, and they closed it down. They filed for bankruptcy without any concern for the families or the communities.
It was like a vampire. It came in and sucked the life out of us.
So, Kim, while the campaign was launching that ad, what was the president up to?
President was deciding that not all private equity partners are created equal. There are those like Mr. Romney that his campaign are going to say are terrible blights on humanity, and then there are those who can donate to his own campaign. And he was on Monday night up at the Manhattan home of a guy named Tony James. He happens to be the president of Blackstone, which is the largest private equity player in the United States. Mr. James was hosting a giant fundraiser for the president's re-election campaign, and no doubt in attendance were going to be many private equity players.
Okay, so out of one side of his mouth, he's bashing private equity. Out of the other side, he's soliciting campaign contributions from the same industry. I also understand that the Obama campaign's infamous list of private citizens that you've been writing about, these are a list of citizens that support Romney that the president has been keeping, or that his campaign has been keeping, includes a private equity investor, right, Kim?
That's right. When they put up this list of 8 citizens that they named and shamed as terrible for having donated to Mr. Romney's cause, one of them was a man named Paul Chip Shore. And one of the things that is fascinating is, guess where he is a partner? He's a partner at Blackstone, the same place, the same company where Mr. Obama was meeting with the president and having a fundraiser hosted on his behalf. And this is actually really interesting, Jason, because the Obama campaign started to get a little bit of pushback about this, and they were quick to come out and say, well, we don't have a problem with private equity as a whole, but actually when they did go out and they attacked Mr. Shore on that list, their complaint was that he did work for a private equity firm that outsourced jobs and made billions of dollars, and so their complaint does seem to be with the industry itself.
Yeah, and I think this is also an interesting story because the perception that the White House gives, and that Democrats and liberals give in general, is that Wall Street is the bastion of conservative Republicans, Kim. But we all know, if you look at the campaign giving back in this year or back in 2008, in that campaign, Wall Street is heavily Democratic, isn't it?
No, it is. And this president, he raised an enormous amount of money in 2008 from Wall Street and the banking sector, and he's attempting to do it again this year, and that's why he was up at this Manhattan fundraiser. I think this says something about the inauthenticity of this campaign to some degree, Jason, in that they want to run a class warfare campaign, and they think they have a juicy target in Mr. Romney, going out and saying he's a millionaire. And they've been dragged into also going so far as to say that private equity, the company that he started with, is part of the problem. But in reality, they have to know that this industry creates a lot of jobs, and they also know it's a big font of money for their own campaign re-election efforts.